Hello and good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening to you, the good people of the tube. Hope you're feeling grand, and those about in your world. Hello there, everybody. Welcome to another A and Q Wednesday, everybody. Let's dive into question one today because we have a lot to get through, so I've got to rush myself a little bit. So tangents, I'm gonna have to save them. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not very good at doing that. But anyway, get on with the questions, Dave. You're running out of time. Okay, so question one today is: if Jimi Hendrix was still alive, what gear do you think he'd be using today? It's really hard to say, but I think Jimmy would have gone down like the digital route, like Axe effects and Kempers, to have multitudes of different sounds. I highly doubt Jimmy would still be using a Marshall, a Fuzzface, a Wah-Wah, and a Univibe, and a Stratocaster. I always see him kind of going the same way as like Adrian Belew or Robert Fripp. You know, these soundscape things where they're using like custom guitars with like Sustainiac pickups in it and like these big racks of multi-effects units and amp simulations, so you're not just got one amp. I think Jimmy would have gone that route because he was he had that sonic kind of architect kind of thing going on with him, with his sound. So I personally think if Jimmy was around today, I think his setup would be very, very complex. I just look at people like Adrian Belew and Robert Fripp. I just think that's the way Jimmy would have gone personally. Unfortunately, we'll never get to know, but that's kind of like where I would see it, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So I think he would have gone down that route of like, literally tons of kind of like, just so many different kind of tonal varieties. I really do think there'd have been a lot there. So that's what I think anyway. But I don't think he'd be using like, Marshall double stacks and stuff like that. I don't think Jimmy would be gigging either. I'd seem to think that Jimmy, if Jimmy had lived, I think by the time he was like 35, 40-ish, I think he would have kind of quit gigging, and it would have just basically just been like, just locked himself away in his own studio and basically like creating music, which would have been like heaven. Can you imagine? So I personally think like, that's what he'd been using, and I think there had been a lot of kind of like just like tons of kind of like gear, like like I say, like Axe effects and Kempers and all sorts of like multi effects. Maybe not multi effects units, but like loads of different effects and stuff like that. So I think that's where he would have gone, because he was kind of delving into realms of jazz. Before he died, he was kind of delving, he was playing with Miles Davis and stuff like that. But I don't think that would have been kind of where he'd have ended up. I really do believe he would have ended up kind of like been this kind of like crazy, kind of like I say, Robert Fripp kind of character, just like, a bit more, maybe even a little bit crazier than Robert Fripp, which is hard to kind of believe, but very possible knowing Jimmy. And he loved Robert Fripp and he loved King Crimson anyway, so it would definitely kind of gone down that line. I personally believe anyway. But yeah, that's what I think Jimmy would have used personally. I doubt very much he would have stuck to very kind of like basic gear. I think he'd have expanded. And I reckon Jimmy was one of those musicians who would like embrace technology, you know what I mean? He would really embrace it and try and understand it and learn it and use it, much in the same way like like I say, a lot of guitarists have in this day and age, because you kind of have to really, much as sometimes you may not want to. I think sometimes you do have to kind of embrace technology for what it is. But I think that's where Jimmy would have gone personally. But again, just my opinion. I don't know. People of the tube, Jimi Hendrix fans are the world over. Let me know in the comments section below. Where do you think Jimmy would be if he was still alive today? And what do you think he'd be using? I'd be very curious to read your comments on that one, because I'm intrigued. Because that's what I think anyway. But that'd be my kind of like 5 pence worth, if you will. Because I just think he would have headed that way. I just really do. There's just something in me that makes me feel that's the way he would have gone. Just try and, maybe not even playing the guitar as much, using, all sorts of stuff to get kind of different things. But I still think the guitar would have been a massive role in his life. I don't think the guitar would have gone too far away, but I do think like, it would be accompanied by all sorts of other kind of crazy, weird instruments and stuff. Anyway, but yeah, so people of the tube, let us know in the comment section below. What do you think, if Jimi Hendrix was still alive today, what do you think he would be using? and you know, what makes you think that? So so let us know in the comment section below. So I'm going to move on to question 2 now. So I hope it's a question. Because question 3 and question 4 are massively in depth, so I've got to be really kind of like Johnny on the spot and move through these. Okay, so question 2 is: have you thought of doing a How to Play Like Stevie Ray Vaughan series? No, I haven't thought about it because simply there's people out there on YouTube who can do Stevie Ray Vaughan a trillion times better than I ever could, and including him himself. You can learn so much by just watching Stevie's hands. It's just ridiculous what that man can do. He's so clean. But no, I've never thought of doing a series. I don't know Stevie well enough. And also with copyright issues, I can't do these kind of things even if I wanted to. Which drives me up my blooming wall and down the other side. Because it's ridiculous. Oh, get angry. Anyway. But no, I haven't thought of doing a series on Stevie Ray Vaughan. Like I say, there's people out there who can do it better than me. You know, people like that Matthew Scott. He's just like Stevie Ray Vaughan reincarnated. You know, I'm not interested in it. I don't particularly listen to Stevie anymore, apart from every once in a while. I don't really pursue him in any way anymore. I had my Stevie Ray Vaughan phase, definitely, like every guitarist should, and I took what I needed from him, but there wasn't much. Once I took everything I wanted from him, there wasn't much there left, if that makes any sense. Like, there's nothing against Stevie, it's just that that's how it worked for me. It's like I took what I wanted from him and learned what I wanted from him, and then once I had learned that, I kind of lost the desire to go any further into his playing, really. I just kind of like wasn't really interested. I still enjoy listening to him, and watching him play is like a masterclass. But no, I mean, I don't really. He's still inspiring to me. I still have certain things that are inspired by Stevie, definitely. But as far as kind of like an influence on me, he's not very high in the pecking order, if that makes any sense. But so the How to Play Like Stevie Ray Vaughan series, no, I've never thought of doing that. Like, there's people out there who can teach it better than I can and can play it a million times better than I can. Like I say, Matthew Scott comes to mind. I'm not really interested in going down that route. No, Phil Sace is another one. He's like a Stevie Ray Vaughan kind of guy, but with his own little bit of his own identity in there as well. But there's still so much of Stevie in Phil Sace's playing. But he's still got his own thing, which is really cool. But no, I'm not really interested in doing it. I'm not really interested in pursuing that. I mean, the series that I want to pursue, but I'm struggling to because of copyright issues, because I can't teach songs. And also, if I start using examples from songs to explain certain things, they get flagged for copyright as well, and the video gets blocked. So it's like, can't win. But the songs, the series I'd like to pursue was Peter Green, John Frusciante, and Jimi Hendrix and Rory Gallagher. But I can't pursue them due to copyright, which drives me up the wall, because other people are allowed to do it. Why aren't I? It doesn't make any sense to me. It in all fairness, it gets my bad word. It gets right on my last nerve because I just don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. So, not overly impressed with that one. Thanks, record companies. I'm not impressed with that, but it is what it is. I can't do anything about it. But yeah. So, thoughts on doing a Stevie Ray Vaughan series? No, it's never out of my mind. There's far too many people out there who can do better than me, and I don't know enough about Stevie, really, to be, and I can't play like him, and I don't really have any desires to play like him. I can play obviously some of his songs, but I have no real desire to play like Stevie. You know, there's nothing really there. But no, thoughts of how to do a How to Play That series. No, it's never really come up, to be honest with you. So yeah, I really got the idea. Yeah, I haven't really got the know-how of Stevie to do it. I can't really pull it off. You know, it's really hard to play like Stevie. Anyway, and I just don't think I do it justice. Anyway, but yeah, so I hope that's this question. Going to move on to question 3 now. Okay, so question 3, I am rocketing because I'm terrified, because question 4 has 7 questions within question 4. So and there is ample opportunity to tangent, and the same with question 3 actually. But okay, so move on to question 3. So tangent alert right now. So next 2 questions could get a bit silly, so I'm going to have to keep an eye on the time. Okay, so question 3 is burger, pizza, or fish and chips. And there is multiple questions to this. So, burger, pizza, fish and chips. Fish and chips. Has to be fish and chips. Well, I don't know, actually. Oh, now you got me thinking. I'm leaning more towards pizza now, actually, because I'm a very occasional fish and chips eater. Pizza. I'll have to go pizza. I really love pizza. Okay, so, yes, pizza for me. People who've achieved these questions go to you as well. So, burger, pizza, or fish and chips? Let us know in the comment section below. Okay, so the next one, and this goes to you as well, people who've achieved. Okay, so is tea, coffee, orange juice, or beer? So to me, that's got to be none of them, and it's got to be John Frusciante and Jimi Hendrix's Tears. So beer, orange juice, coffee, and tea. No, I'll stick to my Jimi Hendrix and John Frusciante Tears. Thanks. Good stuff. Just got a fresh load in the other day. Really sweet this time. Really nice. They must have been in good mood. They must have been like tears of joy. Because I feel good. So, but people who've achieved, let me know. Tea, coffee, orange juice, or beer. Which one would you have? Like I say, for me, it's John Frusciante and Jimi Hendrix's Tears. I don't drink normal drinks anymore. After I went on the quest to get that, to get those, I don't really need it. I've got that. It sustains me. So, the third part of question 3 is: what's your favourite movie soundtrack? What's some of your favourite movie soundtracks and why? Okay, I've got loads. I have loads of favourite movie soundtracks. There's all sorts. I mean, I really like John Carpenter's films for soundtracks. The music in older films, like you got like I really like the music from Escape from New York and Escape from LA. Escape from LA is not as good as Escape from New York, but I still like the music. It's got really cool guitar part in it. The Thing, which is one of my all-time favourite films. The Fog. The Fog has probably some of the best suspense soundtrack music ever made. There's just The Fog is incredible. The original, not the remake, not the crappy remake. John Carpenter's The Fog has got some of the best suspenseful, tense music in it ever made. I think it's just insanely good. Like just the kind of like the way the synthesizer sound, and also kind of long, kind of like staccato notes, like ding 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 over like a drone, and the drone shifts. It creates such a tension. It's incredible, absolutely amazing music. Assault on Precinct 13. Assault on Precinct 13 has probably got one of the coolest theme tunes ever. It's so amazing. I wish I could play it, but I daren't play it because of copyright. I don't know if I'd get done for it. So I love John Carpenter's films for music. They're so good, and he's so good at creating. I mean, you got Halloween as well, but I do like the Halloween theme, but I do feel that like things like The Fog and like The Thing and Escape from New York and Assault on Precinct 13 and what else is there? Stuff like that. They've got really cool soundtracks. There's some really creepy. It's a masterclass in like how to do suspense kind of music. It's really, really cool. Aliens has got a great soundtrack. Predator has got a great soundtrack. I'm looking at my DVD collection over there. What else have we got? There's a film called House of Flying Daggers. And it's got some of the most gorgeous music I've ever heard in a movie soundtrack. It's just there's this one theme in House of Flying Daggers that when the film itself, I like it, but it's kind of like it's like it's okay. I mean, I don't watch it a lot, but it's the music in House of Flying Daggers that really got me. And the final scene in that film with the music is insanely gorgeous. It gets you really hard, and it's just insanely. It just makes you do that. It just makes you go wow. It's so gorgeous. The Last Samurai as well. The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise film and Ken Watanabe film. That's got amazing soundtrack in it as well. The music in that is just fantastic. It really is. Last of Mohicans. Last of Mohicans was probably the first film I saw when I was young where the music hit me. Maybe even more so than the film. I really adore the Last of the Mohicans theme. It's so powerful. And I've actually, I do have a version I play on guitar that I use a looper and I build it. And I do have a version. I've done it live a few times, but I've never recorded it. And again, I can't because of copyright issues now. But it's amazing. I learnt it, and you've got this. It's basically 3 chords. It's E minor, D major, and G major, and it flips back to D. And it's just an amazing progression. And the way the kind of layers layer themselves up, and you have like this kind of like this double time riff going on over the main chords. So the main chords are like like that, and then you got this kind of, I can't do it because it's polyrhythmic and I can't do that. But it's over the chords you've got this kind of double time riff going on with it's like a bagpipe. It sounds like a bagpipe riff. But I bet it's not. I don't know what it is. But it sounds really cool. And then you have the main theme, which is just anthemic, and it's just grandiose but sad and somber and heartbreaking, and it's just full of loss and heartache, and it's just everything. It fits the film perfectly. You know, it couldn't be better if it tried. You know, so there's that. But I do really think that, like I say, Last Movie was definitely the first movie soundtrack that made me go, what's that? You know, and I think I'd probably been about, when did it come out? Is it a 90s film? I'm going to have to look that up quickly because I want to know how old I would have been when it came out. Because we got it on VHS video. My dad's always been a big fan of Native American Indian history and stuff like that. We have books galore on it. So somebody bought it for my dad, thinking, you know, he'll like it. You know, it's about the Mohicans and stuff like that, and the Mohawks in it as well, and as well as what other tribe is in there? No, I can't think of what they're called. I do apologise. Anyway, 92. So I would have been 6. So yeah, we would have got that makes sense actually. Yeah, because. So I'd have been 6 when I first watched that film, and it was the music that really got me about that film. It was so powerful, and especially the main theme. Especially when the main theme breaks, it's like supremely powerful, and it's just so emotional, and it really grabs you, and I love that. And that is all I want from like being able to play guitar now, is that I want to be able to do that to people. Like, you know, the way music does that for me is like I really want to be able to do that to people, reach out and grab them emotionally and take them on that kind of ride to make them feel less alone or less sad or happier. I'm sorry. But yeah, so favorite movie soundtracks that. I mean, there's also computer games that have got like soundtracks. I mean, I love the soundtracks to the original Resident Evil games. Silent Hill has got some of the best music ever. Silent Hill 2 especially. Silent Hill 1's got some great music. Silent Hill 3 has. Silent Hill 2 is a masterclass in music. Arranging and it's just incredibly good. Like, you know, you've got songs like Promise and the actual theme and all sorts of all these other kind of songs in there. It's just incredible. You know, Akira Yamaoka is just a genius. And also, like, you know, the really intense kind of like, you know, creepy music that you can get, like all these crazy kind of like white noisy atonally kind of sounds you get. It's insanely good. It's so insanely good. So it's computer games as well. Like I'm trying to think if there's any others. I mean, Last of Us has got an incredible soundtrack. The first game. I always like Max Payne as well. Max Payne's got a great soundtrack because it's got a cello and it's dead mournful. That's amazing. That's the industry standard sign language for cello there, everybody. Trying to think of any others. Let's go back to films. I Am Legend. The music to I Am Legend, the Will Smith film, that always got me. There's just something in that. There's so much in the music in that film is incredible. And this is the thing, the music makes these films sometimes. Like, you know, if you watch a film without the soundtrack, it's quite incredible of how it doesn't have the same emotional impact sometimes. Sometimes it does, definitely. But sometimes it's the music that conveys the emotion even stronger than what the actors are conveying. Green Mile with Tom Hanks. That's a good example of that. The music in that film, although it's an incredibly emotional film, I do apologise, has got some of the most emotionally heartbreaking music ever. You know, it's just absolutely gut wrenching. It really is, and it's so sad, and that's the way I've studied these kind of bits of music, and I do tend to learn them, and I try to understand, like, you know, kind of doing melodies and counter melodies and layering melodies and having a bass, and, you know, what are they doing and how are they doing it, and why does this melody work, like, you know. Well, not why does the melody work, just what is the melody in a scale, so I can then incorporate that into my own guitar playing. You know, Last of the Mohicans and stuff like that, they are in my guitar playing every now and again. They do appear in these sort of movie soundtracks, do appear every now and again. But I love it. I love movie soundtracks. You can learn so much by listening to them and just kind of figuring them out on guitar, and there's so much emotional content in them because it has to be. You know, it really has to be super strong, you know, to convey the emotion of what the film's trying to purvey. So, you know, you can't just kind of like, you know, that'll do kind of music. It's got to really get inside what's going on. You know, if it's sinister, it needs to be sinister. If it's scary, it needs to be scary. If it's tense, it needs to be tense. If it's sad, it needs to be sad. You know, it's all these things it needs to be. It's incredible, really. And I just think these people who make movie soundtracks, like Hans Zimmer and people like that, they're just masters at purveying emotion through music. And that's what I really want to be able to do, is purvey emotion through music. I'm not interested in being the most technical whiz kid on guitar or how fast can I play. I want to convey my emotion and emotions that I feel for what I've seen or what's going on through the guitar, so all people can feel it, and in feeling it, hopefully feel less alone, scared, afraid, whatever, you know what I mean? Or, you know, stuff like that, really. So, so there are millions of movie soundtracks that I absolutely adore. I'm just trying to see if there's any others that I can think of really quick. I really like. I've just seen Full Metal Jacket. The Full Metal Jacket's got some of the coolest, weirdest music in it. The original music, not like the soundtracks. You get all sorts of music going on in that, but there's some original music in there that's just really weird and creepy. Especially at the end when they're trying to hunt down the sniper. There's some really creepy kind of like industrial kind of sounds going on. Let's think if there's anything else. I'm just looking, see if there's anything else I can see. There's probably a million, to be honest with you. I love movie soundtracks. You know, there is so many. So I'm gonna have to move on because I'm afraid I won't have time for all of question 4 otherwise. But yeah, so that's a few. Like I say, that went off on one there. I could talk about that all day. I might do a video one day of like talking about how movie soundtracks can influence your playing. I might have to do a video on that at some point. So the final part of question 3 is, what's your favourite chocolate bar? Push comes to shove, it'd be Mars bars. I've always loved Mars bars. I don't eat them as much anymore because I'm trying to like not be as much of a sugar baron as I've been previously in my life. But I really like those. But in all fairness, kind of like I ain't at what I've done in ages. But probably Mars bars. Pretty straightforward. Okay, so moving on to final question of the day, everybody. Question 4. Are you ready for this? Buckle in. This is going to be a long one. Okay, so question 4, part 1 is, if you could only keep one of your guitars, which one would it be and why? Okay, so if I can only keep one guitar that I own, it would be my white Strat. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you already knew the answer to that one. Just simply because it's my best friend. It's the guitar that will go with me everywhere. It's the guitar that I will have for the rest of my life, bar none. You know, because I learned everything on that guitar. I have invested so much into it. It's been my comfort blanket. It's comforted me. It's helped me. It's guided me. It's seen me through really, really bad times and good times. It's been my little rock, you know. And it is such a part of me now that I can't imagine life without my white Strat. I don't remember not knowing what it was like before I had it. Like, you know, when I just had my like Washburn and Epiphone and the Hofner and the black Strat there, I don't remember what it was like to not have that white Strat, my white 60s reissue, because it's such a part of me. You know, I mean, we've done so much together. Like, you know, it really is kind of one of those guitars that I will love for the rest of my life. You know, and I never want to be without. It really is. So my white Strat, my 2002 Mexican 60s reissue classic player, I think it is, just because it's my best mate. You know, I love all my guitars to bits. I really do. I really love all my guitars. I have a lot of them, but my white Strat has the biggest emotional attachment to me of all time. I just, you know, it's just so strong, the pull to that guitar and the way that guitar feels. It's incredible. So I love it. Absolutely love it. So I think I knew something was going to happen then. So anyway, so yeah, that'd be the guitar. If I could only keep one guitar, it'd be my 60s reissue white Strat, because he's my best mate, and it's me in guitar form for what that is. So yeah, so that's what I don't have to tangent on that one because it's very, very straightforward. So next part of question 4 is, now this could turn into a pretty big tangent. So get some tears, didn't it? Ah, yeah, very sweet. Nice. Okay, so very weird. What is your biggest dream related to the guitar and music, and also not music related? Okay, I have no dreams outside of music. All what I want is music. That's all I want in life. As soon as I found the guitar and music, I couldn't care about anything else. You know, I don't care about. I just want music. That's all I want. So dreams related to guitar and music, but it's just I want to be able to do this for the rest of my life. That is literally as far as it goes. There is no other version. There is no other kind of like thing that I would like. You know, I just want to be able to pursue music and play music and guitar for the rest of my life. And without it, I don't particularly want to exist. And I know that sounds really over melodramatic, but I really mean it. It's like, you know, without music and guitar, if I can't do that, then I'm not interested. And I really mean that. You know, I really mean that. If I don't have my guitars and I don't have music, I'm not interested. Because it's the only thing that's kept me here. You know, without music, I would be dead. It's as simple as that. Without the guitar, I'd be dead. I would have killed myself way before now. You know, it's the thing that keeps me here. It makes me go, if I'm not here, I can't play guitar. I can't create music. And that is why I'm here. That is, you know, it feels like it's my purpose, you know, to be here to do this. You know, it found me when I needed it, and it's always been there for me when I've needed it. So my dreams to music is I just want to be able to create music for the rest of my life, and write music and play music and share music with all of you out there. You know, that's all I want to do. You know, I'm not interested in anything else other than that. That is literally all I want. You know, so yeah, and I'm not interested in kind of like being rich and famous. In all fairness, I don't want that. I think that's a really bad thing. I reckon it's like what Jimi Hendrix said once. He said, like, you know, if you can get big and famous, sometimes you can lose track of your talents and where you go, because, like, you know, everything becomes so easy and viable. I think you have to maintain balance. I think that's the key to it. You have to maintain a balance between kind of like, you know, not struggling, because I don't believe in the whole tortured artist thing. I think that's nonsense, because I only ever write and play when I'm particularly in a good, you know, you know, if I'm in a good mood. If I'm really tortured, I don't play. I can't bring myself to play because I've got no motivation. So it's like, you know, when I'm sad and depressed and stuff like that, which I have tendencies to be because of my stupid brain and past experiences, then yeah, I will play guitar and it will be this, that and the other. But if I'm really tortured, like, you know, like I have been in the past, I have no desire to do anything, let alone play guitar, and that's horrible. But biggest dreams related to guitar music, that, and just to keep progressing as a musician, you know. But I don't want to ever reach a peak with my guitar playing or my career. You know what I mean? I never want to get to that point where you're like, are you at the top of the mountain? I would rather spend my entire life looking at the top of the mountain but never reaching it, but but constantly moving towards it. You know what I mean? I would rather do that. Like, if you think of it like a mountain climb, because that's exactly what it is. It's like trying to climb Everest. It's much in the same kind of like, will. You've got to have that willpower. But I'd rather, the way my brain works is I would like to never reach the summit, because once you reach the summit, there's only one way you go. You can't stay there because you die. So you have to come back down. So I'd rather strive and constantly do this than do this and then that. So I'd rather do this constantly than this halfway and then turn back. I'd rather just strive to go for the summit but never reach it in my lifetime. Because you're never going to... I don't think it's possible. You know what I mean? I just don't think it's possible. So I'd much rather go that way and think of it in that kind of context than any other way. So, and that's what I would like, and that's what I want. And I just love music and guitar, and that's all I want. That is literally all I want. In this day and age of what's going on right now in the world, and especially the UK, where it's music basically gone. Music arts, the music arts and everything like that. It's had it, I don't know when it'll be coming back. So, it's difficult. It's really difficult in this day and age. But I'm not giving it up for not love nor money. If I have to give up music, then I know what I'm doing. Simple as that. Because I'm not interested in anything else. I'm not good at anything else. I'm not good enough at anything else to do it. So that's that really. And I really honestly mean everything I say. I'm not saying it to be melodramatic or drama queeny or over the top. I honestly mean this. So dreams related to music and the guitar is like I just want to be constantly progressing as a musician. In the way I want to progress, and just be able to do this and make a living out of it and be able to support myself doing it, which luckily, thanks to you lot and my Patreons and my family and friends, I'm able to do that, and I'm forever grateful for that because this is all I want. And so while I've got it, I'm going to enjoy it, because it could stop tomorrow. Not without a fight, it won't. I will fight, if I have to be living on the streets busking all the time, then I will still be playing music. But until there's literally nothing left I can do, in which case there's only one thing I would do, that's all I want. I want to be constantly looking up and going, that's the peak. Okay, let's just keep working towards it. We're never going to reach it, but I'm not going to give up trying. You know what I mean? But I don't ever want to reach it in the back of my mind, if that makes any sense, And I'm not going to turn back. You know what I mean? I'm not going to go, I'm never going to reach it, so I'm turning back. It's like, and I never want to reach it because I don't want to have to come down from the peak, which would be awful. You hear people like Peter Frampton who have done that. It must be an atrocious feeling. So I never want that. I just want to be able to just kind of look at it and go, right, that's the peak. You're never going to get there. It's going to finish you up on the way, but it's going to be a wicked thing to try and do. So, it's really cool. I'm not going to fall and I'm not going to go, but I am going to keep pushing to be a musician, and that's all I want. That is literally all I want. So, I'm going to move on because I could talk about that for hours. Okay, so the next part of the question for you is, what's your favourite Jimi Hendrix and John Frusciante song? Okay, so Jimi Hendrix, I'm kind of torn between songs like Machine Gun, One Rainy Wish, 1983, and that's probably about it. Though those three, I'm kind of torn between them. Probably Machine Gun is my favourite Jimmy song, just because of the emotion in it and what it means. And it's just a man screaming his soul out. You know what I mean? It's just everything that Jimmy is in that song. Everything he'll ever be and ever was and ever kind of can get out of him is in the Machine Gun. And it's just so powerful. And I love it for that every version of Machine Gun, you can just feel he's doing everything into it, and it's so incredible. Probably Machine Gun, but I do love 1983. Are You Experienced as well? Like I say, One Rainy Wish, Angel. Are You Experienced? Yeah, I've already said I Experienced. Bold as Love, Little Wing. Little Wing is a very important song to me. Little Wing's probably the most important Jimmy song to me. Much in the same way Scar Tissue is very important to me, Chili Peppers side, and in general. Little Wing's massively important to me because it's it reminds me of Charlie, and it reminds me of my friends Nicole and Marjo in France. It's like it's their song, and it's really important for that reason. It's their song for me. You know what I mean? It really is. So it's really important to me, that song, Little Wing. So there's kind of two different aspects, really. Well, those are my favourites, and then there's ones that mean the most to me. And Little Wing is probably the one that means the most to me, but Machine Gun's probably my favourite, if that makes any sense. Same way as kind of like, Don't Forget Me. Scar Tissue is probably the most meaningful song to me that the Chili Peppers have ever done, and in general in the entire world. But at the same time, again, one of my favourite songs of theirs is Don't Forget Me, but it doesn't have the same impact because Scar Tissue is my grandma's song. So that's my favourite Jimmy songs. So you've got Little Wing for emotional attachment, and then for my favourite is Machine Gun. John Frusciante, that's more difficult because there's so many John songs that I'm just kind of like emotionally attached to for so many different reasons. So it's really hard to pick one specific song. It really is difficult. Probably the John song, and this is going to be a bit weird to say, but let me just see if I can find it. I can never remember the title of it. It's the second to last track on Shadows Collide. I can't spell. Okay, so one of my favourite the song that probably means the most to me, John Frusciante's done, is 23 Going to End. It's the second to last track on Shadows Collide with People. And the reason for that is when I came back from London and I was in my weird disassociated state and suicidal and all this fun stuff, what I used to do is I used to put that song on really loud, and I'll just lay on my bed in my room with it really loud in the dark, and it was really comforting to me. So that's probably my most... And bizarre, there's no guitar in it. So, there kind of is. It's kind of like a weird kind of like high-pitched slide thing, but it's mainly synths, which is a bit strange. But it's probably the song that means the most because it really made me feel like comforted and like I belong and like I'm okay. Like, things made sense. So that's probably the song that means the most to me that John's done. There's also songs like I'm Around, which also means a lot to me. Carvel, Before the Beginning, Song to the Siren, Central. There's Untitled number 11, Untitled number 2. Where else have we got? Running Away Into You. A Firm Kick. Look On. Although I don't play Look On because it's just I overplayed Look On. What else have we got? There's so many. Past Recedes. There's John, because he's my hero. There's not many John songs that don't have an emotional attachment to me or are my favourites. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a fan of his electronic music. That's not really my kind of thing. I'm not interested in acid house. But John's music has got such an emotional click for me. Like I say, probably the one that means most is 23 Going to End, definitely. Just because of, like, it's just so soothing to me. I still find it very calming now. It's a real calming vibe to me. I really like it. I really love it, actually. Like it is an understatement. So, but it's really hard to pick one. Like with Jimmy, I can pick Little Wing and I can pick Machine Gun. With John, it's a lot more complex. It's not as easy to go, right, it's this. You know what I mean? I can't really do that. It's really, really difficult. So, because there's so many that have massive meaning to me, so I can't really pick. So it's difficult. John is really, really difficult because I just love so much of his music. It's really hard to pick that. Yeah, it's that one there, if that makes any sense. So anyway, so I'm going to move on because we've still got a few more things to do. So I've got a bit. So next part, question 4 is: when you listen to music, do you feel the lyrics or the music more? It varies. It depends. That's a song by song basis. There's some songs where I feel the lyrics with the music. I don't ever feel lyrics on their own. There's always lyrics and music, and then there's songs where I feel the music more. A good example of lyrics and music is Black by Pearl Jam, which is like the story of my life, my romantic life, if you will. There's a bit of a window in there, but because I really want the last part of Black. I know someday you'll have a beautiful life. I know you'll be a star, but in somebody else's sky. But why can't it be mine? I want those lyrics tattooed on my arm because that has just been like, that's been my life. Yeah, it really has, and experienced that far too much for my own good, which is not fun. But that song is really meaningful to me, and I take a lot of comfort in the fact that Eddie went through the same thing, obviously, and the music is just so beautifully gorgeous to that, you know. And so Black is one of those songs where I feel the lyrics and the music really strongly, especially the Pink Pop in '92 version. That's my favourite version of Black. It's so powerful to me. It really hammers it home, and I always have to hold back tears with that version, especially Mike's first note on the solo and the way Eddie sings that last verse. Like, you know, it really hurts, but in like, you know, that kind of really comforting, heartbreaking way. It's kind of a bit masochistic in a way, but yeah. So Black is one of those songs where I hear and feel the lyrics. Aaron Lewis, the singer from the band Stained, he's got a song called Please. That's a song where I hear the lyrics and the music, and I feel both at the same time. There's other songs like let's think of a song where it's just music. Stuff like The Noose by Perfect Circle. I feel the music more in that because I can't relate as much to the lyrics, but that's because I haven't been in that situation of what's been depicted. So I relate a lot to stuff like The Noose. There's also stuff like The Hollow. I'm just talking Perfect Circle. Passive by Perfect Circle is a song I can relate to, both musically and lyrically. I get that one. There's so many. Dancing in the Moonlight by Thin Lizzy. I can feel the music on that one to the end of time. Like, you know, and a lot of Thin Lizzy, I feel the music. There are certain songs like, you know, Still in Love with You and stuff like that really have a very, you know, where you feel the lyrics and the music, where I can feel both. But it's kind of like, it depends on what the song is and how it gets me and how I feel the song, you know what I mean? So sometimes Iron Maiden are a good example of this. Like, I really like songs like Revelations and Wicker Man and Hallowed Be Thy Name and Fear of the Dark and Ghost of a Navigator and stuff like that. But then you get songs like Blood Brothers where I feel lyrics and the music all at the same time, and it's just really powerful. So it's, you know, and also stuff like Journeyman and Coming Home, songs like that where I'm like, this is insane. You know, I really feel these songs. You know, you feel them deeply. Jeff Buckley is another one where I can feel both. Jeff is just a master at that. I feel like, you know, you can really feel everything in Jeff. There's so much that comes from him. It's incredible. But no, I mean, when I listen to music, do I feel lyrics and music more? It's like, it's totally song dependent. I'm very busy today, aren't I? Emails. It's totally song dependent. You know, it's all on kind of like, it all depends on basically like, you know, what you hear, you know, feel, you know, what the song makes you feel. There are some songs where you're just like, I don't feel a single thing, in which case it's not music for you. You know, there have been times in the past where I've listened to songs I'm like, can't feel it, so I'm not interested. You know, and that's not been, I don't think that's been ignorant towards it. I think it's just like, if you can't feel it, then it's not there to feel, if that makes any sense. So yeah, it varies really, song to song. So, but yeah, there are certain songs that just kind of like are so important to me. You know, Black being one of them. Anyway, gonna move on because I'm running out of time. So, another part of question 4 is: Would you sell the Katana 50 Mark 1 for a Katana 50 Mark 2? No. I wouldn't see the point. you know, the Mark II has more features definitely, but you know, if it was the 100, I would think about it. The 50, no, I would just keep Mark 1 50, and it's my 50's just sat there. And I love it, to be honest with you. I love the Katanas. I mean, the Katanas are just my favourite amps. They really are. Like, next to the MG and the CR120, unreal. But I wouldn't sell the Mark 1 just to get a Mark 2. No, I would stay where I was. So, yeah. So, another part of question 4 is, when was and this one's a bit of a weird one. I kind of answered this before in a Q&A, but I thought I'd do it again. When was the moment you noticed you have got to a highest level on the guitar? So I don't believe I've reached a highest level on guitars. Like I said earlier on, I'm still, you know, I strive for the peak, but I know I'm never going to reach it, kind of thing. So I don't believe my level is very high, which is the way I keep myself motivated to go. You're not good enough. You need to get better. Moment you noticed you got to a highest level on guitar. I'm nowhere near the highest level. You look at people like Guthrie Govan or Steve Vai or Buckethead or people like that. You're like, they're way above me in what they do technically and the way they are. But I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in seeing it like in that way. So I don't see it that way. I don't see myself as kind of like at a high level of guitar. I just play the guitar. I'm a guitarist. That's getting really annoying now. This is getting ridiculous. I can't believe how busy my phone is. I do apologise, everybody. It's going on silent. Sorry. I'm so sorry. But yeah, that is absolutely crazy. I don't think my phone's gone off that much in a video ever. So, I'm not at a highest level of guitar. I want to be on I strive to be on a high emotional level with a guitar, not a high technical level, if that makes any sense. But, because I just want to be able to purvey that, like I've spoke earlier on and stuff like that. So, but I don't think I'm on the highest level of guitar at all. I mean, I can play the thing the way I want to play it, and and I'm happy with it. You know, I mean, I've got no interest in going any further technically with the guitar. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I can do what I need to do, and that's all that matters to me. I don't have to learn to sweep pick and tap and 8-finger tap or 2-finger tap or whatever, or do crazy techniques on the guitar, because that's not where I want to be with music and the guitar. It's not where I'm being led. So I don't really feel I'm at a high level of guitar. The day where I can kind of like really start to kind of like purvey emotion, no ifs, no buts. That's when I'll start to think, yeah, you're getting there. You know what I mean? But and that's not me being kind of like, you know, self-deprecating. I just don't want to get distracted by that kind of thing. You know what I mean? I want to keep very kind of like low to the ground and kind of go, right, this is where you are. And again, the whole thing of like, that's the summit. You're never going to reach it. And that's okay. You don't have to. But you've still got to strive for it. You know, even though you're never going to reach it, you've still got to strive for it. And I think that's really important. And that's the way I like to perceive it and do it. So, so I don't really feel like, you know, that kind of thing really, to be honest with you. I don't really think that way about it either. I kind of used to, but I kind of got a bit bored of thinking that way. I just wanted to be able to play how I feel and get that across in music. That's all I want to do, really, and just play music for the rest of my life. That's all I want to do. Okay, so the final part, question 4, because I'm going to have to rush now because I'm running out of time. Okay, what pedals would you recommend after you buy an overdrive, a looper, and a wah? Delay, chorus, distortion, definitely. So delay, distortion, chorus, reverb. That's probably about it. And maybe something like a soundscapey pedal. You know, I have a soundscapey pedal to show you very soon, which I'm really looking forward to doing a video of, because I have an idea for the video for this pedal. And the idea I have for this video is basically an hour-long soundscape. So the idea with that video is you don't watch me playing or what I'm doing. You just put it on and it's just there as a noise, you know what I mean, as a sound. So I'm really tempted. That's the idea for this pedal, which you'll see soon. I'll get to it soon. But that's the idea I have for the video of that one. Basically just play for an hour straight and just get lost in it and just so when you put the video on, it's just a case of you just let it play, you know, and it's like a background noise almost. It's kind of like just to hopefully soothe and kind of like calm, you know. So that's the idea I have for that. We'll see though. Okay, so yeah, that would be the ones I'd recommend definitely. Trying to think if there's any others, but no, there's not really any others. I mean, they're the ones I'd recommend. So yeah. So anyway, so I hope that's such a question. There was a lot in question 4. There was a lot in question 3, but so I hope I've answered your questions okay. If you want to submit a question for Q&A Wednesday, everybody, description box below has an email link. Email me there, and I'll get to it when I get to it. And yeah, and I'll see you again on Friday for another vid. I don't know what it's going to be yet. Kind of maybe. I don't know. I'm and ahhing at this point. I've got so much to show you. I've got so many kind of like new guitars to show you, and a pedal and certain other things to show you. I'm like, oh, what do I do? So what do I do first? So we'll yeah, you know, got this thing here, got that thing there which you can't see, that thing there which you can't see, that thing there which is wicked. You know, I've got so much to show you. So I'm trying to decide which one I want to do first. So it's crazy. So yeah. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, everybody. I'll see you again on Friday for another vid. Have a great morning, afternoon, evening, and yes, goodbye now. Thank you for watching. Ha ha. See you later.